Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We have Larry Bridger and Mike Malik here today conducting a Strapbinder overview. If you have any questions during the webinar, please use the question feature and we'll go over all of your questions and comments during the wrap-up section at the end. So without further ado, I'll pass this over to Larry and Mike.
Well, thanks, Courtney. This is Larry Bridger. I'm the National Account Manager for Strapbinder. I want to thank you for attending today, and I hope you're having a great and safe day. My counter presenter is Mike Malik. He's the product manager for Strapbinder. Mike, you want to say hello?
Yes, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining in our little session here.
And since we got the intros out of the way, I'm going to get started and get right into the presentation. If I can get it to work, we'll be doing great. Okay, Strapbinder basically has a production facility in Smyrna, Tennessee. In Smyrna, Tennessee, we manufacture about 1.5 million pieces of product a day, and it has about 357 employees. Also in Smyrna, we have a large distribution center. It's a highly automated facility with good engineering and high quality and low cost. The Strapbinder line, I would say the Ideal-Tridon group, which is part of Strapbinder's part of. At Smyrna, we manufacture the worm type gears. The worm gear, basically you will find in most of your automotive applications in hoses, hose connections. Ideal-Tridon controls about 60 to 70% of the automotive market. And of course, these clamps are used in agriculture, in defense, all kinds of oil and gas, food and beverage, all kinds of applications, as you know. What we're going to talk today is about the Strapbinder. It's the little section over here up to the top. It's basically talking about preformed clamps and band and buckle. And that's the product we're going to talk about today, and we'll get started on that. I am having typical difficulties getting this slideshow to work. Courtney, you might need to come back on. This thing's freezing on me. Let me test here real quick. Okay, now it's starting to work. Okay, the Ideal-Tridon group, basically Ideal was founded in 1913 by a cab driver in New York. He was basically looking for an application and for his hoses in his cab. So he came up with the first worm gear. The other company, the sister company that started in Canada was Tridon. And it started in 1924. Now, these were two separate companies that basically merged, that controlled most of the clamping market, and they merged in, I want to say, in 1999 to form Ideal-Tridon. In the midst of that, they opened a Mexico facility. Over a period of time, they basically introduced new patent, new products, brought in partners, opened a facility in Poland, opened a facility in India and distribution, and I believe they opened a facility in China. Lately, in the last couple of years, we've had a couple of acquisitions. In 2018, we had Campbell Fittings, which was in Boyertown, Pennsylvania, which makes the compression type fittings for hoses. And then we had ZSI Foster acquisition in 2019. Which is more the clamping, the strut, and that such a product. This footprint, global footprint is of Ideal-Tridon before the ZSI Foster and Campbell merger. As it shows on this slide, we have a facility in Smyrna, Tennessee. That facility is where the Strapbinder product and preform clamps are manufactured. We also have a facility in Mexico where we have some products coming out of. As you can see on this map, we also have a facility in Poland, and we also have a facility in Italy. And it's showing the facility in India and in China. After the acquisitions, Ideal-Tridon went to the Ideal-Tridon Group. And under this is, as I discussed earlier, is Campbell Fittings. We've had another acquisition of Florida Strup, Versabar, and ZSI Foster, Stadco, and then Strapbinder was, I believe, in about 2016 or 17. The main products, as I mentioned earlier, were the worm gear, the T-bolt, and the strut, and the specialty clamps, conduit supports, fastening solutions. The market, automotive, petro, O&G, HVAC, mechanical. You're basically talking aeronautics, agriculture. You're basically covering about everything. We're driven by high quality, low cost, quick to market. Headquartered in Smyrna, Tennessee. This is a global footprint. I won't spend a lot of time on it, but you can see we've expanded our plant. Through this acquisition, we have a plant in California. We also have one in Ocala, Florida, which is not shown on the map. As I mentioned earlier, one in Boyerstown, also one in Missouri, Springfield, Missouri, with the fittings and such. And the other footprint, I think we added a facility in Italy in that process. Some of our global customers are some of the big names in automotive: Ford, GM, Toyota, Nissan, Honda, Volvo, as you can see. And then you get to some of those large equipment manufacturers like Caterpillar, John Deere, and then we get into some of your boating type situations with Mercury, Yamaha, Kawasaki. And then you got good old Honeywell, but those are just a few. On the aftermarket section, you guys have probably seen a lot of these, a lot of distribution and supply houses, Ace Hardware, Lowe's, MSC Industrial, Grainger, McMaster, good old Home Depot, Napa, some good names we all know about. Now, what I want to talk to you today is a little bit about our manufacturing and how our facilities are run, because it's very important to know how we go to market and how we run our plants. We basically have 4 production facilities on the Ideal-Tridon footprint, not including our acquisitions, and we basically share best processes. We basically are 90% fully integrated manufacturing. Another very important key to our business is engineering service support. It's a very heavily engineered company and product. We support our customers with new products. We support with new applications and whatever they ask us for. We also use this engineering in our design, analysis, and testing. Testing is very critical to our product to make sure we supply the best, and meet the standards of the industry. I mean, that's the basics. Now, the testing capabilities, Ideal has a large number of testing capabilities. I'm just going to read a few here because they're very important. You got the salt spray tests for your coastal areas, pressure, vibration, and temperature, which is pretty basic. Your pressure tests, metallurgical tests. We also do SIM, scanning electronic microscope, catalytic corrosion, very important test. We even get down into sub-zero. Now here's where I really start talking about the product. Strapbinder itself was basically purchased by Ideal in about 2000, I want to say 16 or 17, I might miss the year. But it was a regional player in Elton Grove, Illinois, a suburb of Chicago, and it was moved down to Smyrna. Our biggest competitor is Strapbinder. So if you know Strapbinder, not Strapbinder. Our biggest competitor is Bandit. Basically, if you know Bandit, you know Strapbinder. We're basically into a stainless steel nailed and galvanized type product. We package about 100 foot to 200 foot banding and coils. Our packaging can be in box or in tote. What we mean by tote is a plastic tote. We'll go over that later. Our bands are built at 201, 304, or 3/16 stainless. 201 is the mainstay of the industry, where basically 3/16 is where you get in harsh environment, like marine environment, and then 304 is a good mainstay for corrosion. Our buckles that go with the banding are in 201 and 3/16 stainless, and doing banding allows you to band around any diameter pole, pipe, or hose you want to get involved with. Applications include insulation banding, cable bundling, installation of signage, traffic control, antennas, cameras, lighting, electrical equipment, hoses, fire truck hoses, tanks. There's all kinds of hose application with the banding. Now, the preformed clamp, which you probably are more familiar with, you're probably using every day, come in stainless steel and galvanized, and they go up to 8-inch diameter, and they're priced per box. And then we also have available sound brackets for sound mounting, stainless steel with bolts and washers, and other mounting type material for the customer. In the picture below, you can see basically this is basically one of your tooling, your basic tool, your spin tight tool for banding, and you can also use this also for center punch, and this is your battery arbor tool, and here's some preformed clamps, and these are the totes. These are the plastic totes I was talking about. And at this part of the presentation, I'm going to turn it over to Mike. And Mike, don't screw up like I did and call Bandit Strapbinder, but go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Larry. Good morning, everyone, again. We're going to repeat some things that Larry had covered, but we'll get into a little more detail on the specific products. As Larry mentioned, we're a securement company with products that serve a variety of industries that include agriculture, oil and gas, petrochemical, mining, construction, utilities, and municipalities. Our key products include preformed hose clamps, stainless banding and buckles, mounting brackets for utilities and traffic signals, and manual application tools. Next slide, Larry. The preformed hose clamps represent a large portion of the Strapbinder business. These clamps are used on industrial hose, which is defined as low pressure, larger diameter hoses. Types of hose include air, water, discharge, chemical, suction hose. We sell these band clamps primarily into the hose and accessory distributors. Those are distributors that fabricate hose assemblies. What's happening at these distributors, they take a cut length of hose, put a fitting on each end, hopefully a Campbell fitting, and then secure that fitting on the hose with hopefully a Strapbinder band clamp. We offer two distinct styles of preformed hose clamps, J-series and center punch. The J-series is the more robust of the two style clamps due to its heavier band material and heavier lock. The clamp, once tensioned, is rolled over so that the tail is perpendicular to the lock, so that when the tail is cut, it forms a J. This clamp is also referred to a lip lock or rollover style clamp. It has very good holding strength. These J-series clamps are available in 5 band widths: 1/4, 3/8, 1/2 inch, 5/8, and 3/4. Diameters range from 13/16 ID all the way up to 8 inch. They're available both in type 201 stainless steel and electro-galvanized carbon steel. The key feature to these clamps is that it has a smooth bore inside diameter. That provides a 360-degree contact of the band with the hose, thus reducing the probability of a leak path. The other style clamp is called a center punch clamp. Next slide, please, Larry.
You got it, Mike.
Thank you. The center punch clamp is not as robust as the J-series clamp. Therefore, it is the lower cost option and is used in more non-critical type applications. This clamp is, once tensioned, is locked in place by striking a conical shaped punch into the lock, which pushes the metal into the band and locks the clamp in place. This is available in 2 band widths, 3/8 and 5/8, also in diameters of 13/16 to 8 inch ID. The raw materials would include type 201 stainless steel and electro-galvanized carbon steel. The point I want to make here about the Strapbinder center punch clamp: we are the only clamp manufacturer in the industry that makes a smooth bore center punch clamp. So you will find these clamps being used in a variety of industries. As I stated before, agriculture, oil and gas, mining, food and beverage, construction, chemical processing, and refining. Next slide, Larry. This slide features our stainless steel banding offering. We offer the 100-foot coils in grade type 201 in 1/4, 3/8, 1/2 inch, 5/8, and 3/4, and type 316 in 1/2 inch and 3/4 band widths. The 201 material is offered also in totes. The features of this particular offering is that it's resistant to moisture, it has a built-in handle, it's easy to dispense, you'll have a full view of the coil, and it's color-coded for bandwidth identification, being blue is 1/2 inch, green would be a 5/8 banding, and red is in the 3/4 inch tote. We also offer the big binder band, which is the real heavy-duty 3/4, 1 inch, and 1.25 inch material that's 0.44 in band thickness. This is primarily used for mounting large fixtures such as transformers by the telecommunications, utilities, and power company industries. Also, the 1 inch is used in some hose shops for the fabrication of collars for metal hose. We also offer type 304 economy coils. This is offered in a variety of bandwidths and thicknesses for primarily construction, shipyards, sign hanging, insulation securement, and other corrosive environments. We also offer this in mill-wound coils. Those are the larger put-ups of the type 304 material in either 900-foot, 2,000, 3,000-foot coils. These coils are made to fit into a strapping dispenser for the higher volume requirements. Next page, Larry. On this page, we have assembled some key products used in the sign, signal, traffic control, fastening applications. As I indicated earlier, we have the Type 201, Type 316 banding in 030 in thickness, with the key bandwidths being 1/2 and 3/4. 90% of the banding is used in those two gauges. We also offer those in plastic totes. The stainless steel buckles are manufactured with Type 201 grade stainless steel, and we have a buckle that corresponds to every bandwidth that we manufacture. On this particular page, we're also featuring our Snap Lock quick release clamp. That's used primarily for non-permanent sign and banner mounting, primarily seasonal events like holidays, festivals, and concerts. Below that, we also manufacture sign brackets, 2 different styles, a flared leg, which we show in this particular picture, and a straight leg. The flared leg is primarily used for round poles 3 inches in diameter or greater, while the straight leg is used on metal pole with diameters of 14 inches and larger, square poles, and wooden poles larger than 8 inch. We also manufacture a pole binder bolt clamp. That's manufactured with extruded aluminum, used in conjunction with our 3/4 and 1 1/4 big binder band. That's used by utilities, telecommunications, power companies for mounting utility boxes, transformers, and other large fixtures. At the bottom of the flyer here, we have our 3 main tools that are used throughout the industry. The ST001 is our spin tight tensioner. You're probably most familiar with that one. That's used for sign hanging and in hose shops for applying band and buckle to larger OD hose. The ST101, which is the one with the red handle, is a more robust tool than the spin tight tensioner due to its windlass tensioning design. It has a built-in cutter and a hammer knob for knocking down the ears on buckles and wing seals. We also have a little flex driver. That's a nifty little tool for tightening gear clamps. It features a flexible shaft and no-slip grip with a socket that can be flipped over for either 1/4 inch and 5/16 clamp screw heads. Next slide, Larry. We mentioned manual application tools. This is Strapbinder came out with a battery-operated tool several years ago. It's one of the most versatile tools in our industry. By switching out one of the 3 heads, it can be used to apply 5/8 and 3/4 stainless and galvanized J-series clamps, 5/8 stainless steel and galvanized center punch clamps, and 1/2, 5/8 and 3/4 band and buckle. The tool is both portable and bench mountable. As you see at the top of the page here, the tool is in a fixture that can be applied to a bench and as a production tool, or taken out as the fixture and be used anywhere within your facility, or used in a service vehicle for field repairs. Some of the key features of this tool: it has preset tension settings. So you'll get the same tension as pulled on every cycle, which takes out the variability you get when using manual tools. It's powered by an 18-volt lithium-ion battery, which is a quick charge battery. You'll get an 80% charge in 15 minutes and a full charge in 30 minutes. It has unlimited takeout. meaning you can pull down larger clamps to smaller diameters just in one cycle. Another feature is it can be used with any domestic manufactured clamps. So if you have inventory of a non-strap binder clamp, the tool will utilize that particular clamp. So keep in mind, this tool is a perfect solution for the many variables that we deal with every job. So that's my portion of it. I'm going to thank you for your interest, and I'll turn this back to Larry.
Well, Mike, don't go anywhere. We'll need you for the Q&A session.
I'm not going anywhere.
Okay. What we find out with our product, and like most products, what the customer expects is high quality. Strapbinder is a very high quality product. Quick order turnaround. Our lead times from the plant are 2 to 3 days, and the worst case, we're 1 to 2 weeks. We have engineering service capabilities I talk about, which is very important to the customer to have that support to support his applications and walking through the process. And for yourself. The testing services, like I mentioned earlier, are very important that we have those that we can supply the end user or do special testing on request as needed. We have very competitive pricing. I don't think there's anybody in the marketplace we can't beat on pricing. Very ease of doing business, good product support at our plant, and usually our orders are freight prepaid. Some of the applications for the banding and strapping, if you're driving down the road, which when I first went to work for these guys, they said, well, you're going to be involved in banding. I didn't know what they were talking about until I started looking at the utility poles. I was driving down the road and I saw this banding on the pole. And this is a steel pole with multiple banding holding up a light fixture, insulator standoff, and all such, conduit strap. And as you can see, it's a fairly large pole. They can do single band or multi-band strapping with the buckles. Here's an application with the basically the banding holding down some tank. Looks like a water tank, application tank, or a chemical application. Another big segment application is traffic and sign segment. This is usually at the city, muni, and state level, where you're hanging signs, traffic control, cameras, lighting, all kinds of control boxes. It's a big market. You find this in new construction, big RMO, maintenance, repair, and ops. Mike mentioned earlier, holiday seasonal bannering, which you see a lot of, in the Thanksgiving and your Christmas and such. Usually, this product is sold through people like yourself, and basically in the industrial, hardware, and electrical. Another big market is utilities. As you can see, it's all kinds of applications, utilities. You're hanging heavy equipment, insulator straps, conduit, cable bundling, and such. You get involved in new construction again, maintenance, repair. When you have hurricanes and tornadoes and such and bad weather and with icing, you get a lot of repair work going on. Utilized also by T&D, which is transmission distribution electrical contractors. Also, sort of a segment off utilities is the telecommunication, basically the towers, which is hanging a lot of your wireless capabilities, and DAS, distributed antenna systems. This is a very large market, and also in the cable industry. And they're doing a lot of cable bundling, routing, and such with the banding. In the industrial segment, which is the hose distributor segment, you guys in this area get involved in chemical construction, power, oil and gas, refineries, and pipelines. So a lot of these are your customers. We also apply it to gas tanks, trucks, fire trucks. I talked about bundling of cable. In-ground wiring and cable is a new big application where they use 304 stainless. which is a good corrosive type environment for industrial, mining, food and beverage. We mentioned oil and gas downhole with the application. The military uses a lot, especially in shipbuilding and rebuilding. Shipbuilding, they continuously use stainless 201 or 304 for cable routing and cable bundling in the ships, and there'll be miles of it in a ship, as you could imagine. And right now, the military is going through a lot of retrofitting of their vessels. Our core value proposition to the customer is, like, again, I keep harping on this, but it's high quality. You have to have a high quality equal product. You have to know your business, extensive knowledge of the applications where the clamps are used, stringent quality standards and processes, that's a must. And you got to meet the standards of all the industries you're involved in. Now, the ones I have listed here are more leaning to the automotive, but there's other, you got milk spec, and you got other standards you need to meet too. And we do meet those, and we have the documentation for it. We have a consistent 98% fill rate. We're excellent at supply. Like I said before, in-house engineering and testing. Global resources. For us in the United States, we like to have our resources right here in North America, and we do. We're manufacturing in Smyrna. We do have some manufacturing in Mexico. We have distribution facilities in Nevada, Houston, Smyrna, and Ohio. So we're very well situated to take care of your needs. And we have global manufacturing, which is important for your international companies that you are taking care of. Again, we are U.S. owned and U.S. manufacturing. And here's the contact. It's myself, being the national account manager, with our emails and our cell numbers, and Mike's contact information. And then we have the website at www.strapbinder.com and Ideal-Tridon.com. And right there about the website, I wanted to veer off and show you something real quick. I'm not going to go to the website, but I want to show you some literature that's available to you. So I'm going to exit and pull up some literature. This literature is our catalog for Strapbinder. It's 11 pages long. It has all the product into it. And I know what Mike was looking and was like a little, it's hard to read. But if you go to this catalog, which is on our website under a literature tab, you can pull it up, and it's a PDF. You can pull and download it to your machine, to your PC. So again, it's 11 page. I'm not going to go through it, but I will show you the index. So you can see you have the J series banding, you have the center punch, you have the banding, and you have all the products and tooling. If you want to go through the tooling, it's very important. And the accessories for mounting, and we add some other, there's other products in there we didn't go over today that you can look at your own leisure. The other one I want to show you is a good handout for your customers is on the sign hanging hardware. This is mainly referring to the banding and buckling product. And it's a 2-page flyer it's an easy handout for your customer, but it's mainly for applications for sign and signal mounting, telecommunication, utility applications. The industry this applies to is public work departments. This is your city and state, the munis and REAs and co-ops, DOT, Department of Transportation, traffic control contractors, and one I did mention was sign and banner contractors. They are a big usage of this product. Here's some applications, and it's a very brief, and as this is the one Mike used in his presentation, and this is available to you on the website under the literature tab. Just doing a quick review for you guys. And the last one I want to make you aware of, Mike used in the presentation that you can pull down as a PDF is the grip clamp, the same tool he just went over. The grip clamp tool, one tool for 3 applications: center punch, J clamp, and basically banding and buckling. And Mike just went over this. I just want to show you it's available to you on the website under literature. So I'm going to minimize that. We'll go back to the presentation. And we are basically at the end of the presentation, so we're good at taking questions at this time if you'd like. We'd be glad to answer them. And I'm going to let Courtney read them off as they come in.
All right, we have a question. So Larry and Mike, the literature you just showed and various other literature and brochures, are they available in print form as well as website?
Are they available where?
In print form as well as digitally on the website.
Oh, that's an absolute yes. If you'd like the catalog, you can ask your representative from Ideal-Tridon or our sales group who's calling on you today, and they can order them for you in the quantities you want. It's a very simple process, and we can get them out to you within 1 week.
Great. Another question, are there videos showing the tools and clamps being applied? For example, hose ends being installed, signs, utilities.
Mike, I'm going to let you answer that one.
Yes. On our website, we have a ribbon that has our technical toolbox. So on that, in the technical toolbox, we have the manuals, the instruction sheets, and videos for the application tools.
We have that. We have a video for the grip clamp. What videos do we have available, Mike? Can you just sort of roll them off?
We have the spin tight tensioner, the grip clamp tool, the spin tight tensioner with the HBJ001 adapter for applying J series clamps, and also some of the center punch tools, the manual center punch tools, are all on the video portion. Website.
And the reason we didn't bring up the website and the videos, I've given 2 of these last week, and every time I bring up the website and videos, the site crashes. And I think that so many people are using this platform to communicate and educate that the bandwidth is not supporting it on the internet. So we forego that this morning. I apologize for that, but it's not capable at this time. Okay, Courtney, next one.
All right. Can you use the grip clamp in lieu of the pneumatic bandit clamping tool?
That's yours, Mike.
Okay, the question again is?
Can you use the grip clamp in lieu of the pneumatic bandit clamping tool?
Yes, you can. The key is, though, that the grip clamp will only do 5/8 and 3/4 inch bandwidth clamps. So if you're using a bandwidth other than 5/8 and 3/4, you're limited to those 2 sizes. And yes, people have purchased the grip clamp tool to replace a bandit tool, whether it be a bench unit or their portable tool.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, next question. In regards to sign hanging, what % of the market do you have, and who is the biggest competitor that we will run into?
I'll take that one. I'll start at the end and work backwards. Our biggest competitor is Bandit. Bandit controls about 60% of the market in North America, and our percentage of the market right now is, believe it or not, we're the second or third player, as I did in market analysis. And at this time, we'd like to take on Bandit as our main competitor. We're very competitive. There's not a Bandit price out there I don't think we can beat. I say that backwards. I think there's not a Bandit price that we cannot beat, and our availability and service beats theirs hands down. Sorry about that, Courtney. Got tongue-tied.
All right. People are asking if they can get a copy of these slides after, so I can answer that one just saying yes, you can have copies of the slides, and we can also give you the recording to this training. Let's see what else. Prepaid freight policy and minimum order size.
I'll take that one. Prepaid freight is basically your order is approximately $250. Your first order is $1,600, but your second order only has to be $250, and we cover prepaid freight. So that's basically the criteria for freight. Hope that answered your question.
All right. Do you have military spec products mainly with the clamps?
Mike, I'm going to let you answer that one.
Yeah, I'm almost certain that we do. If there's a particular spec called out, we have the wherewithal with our engineering group to make sure that the product that we're manufacturing meets those standards.
All right, we've got one more question here, so if anyone has anything else, you can chime in now. But this last one, Larry discussed smooth bore IDs being an advantage for consistent clamping. What type of bore IDs do our competitors have?
Mike, I'll let you handle that one.
Yeah, the freeforms, the J series, and center punch clamps are manufactured all the way up to 8-inch ID. Now, our competitor offers a ultra lock clamp, which is a heavier duty style clamp that is made up all the way up to a 9-inch ID. Now, we will soon be coming out with a product that will compete with the ultra lock. It is known as our power type clamp, and that will go from 2.5 inches all the way to 9-inch OD. So we will have a comparable large OD clamp out in the industry.
With more brake strength and to meet or beat the ultralight spec.
Exactly.
All right, we've got 2 more questions that came in. So back to the prepaid freight policy. Does that apply to CDN customers?
Applies to what?
CDN customers.
Canadian.
Okay, Canadian. Yes, in U.S. dollars.
And are Strapbinder products available at different box stores such as Home Depot or just the clamp products?
I believe at this time it's just the clamp products and not the banding and buckling.
Yeah, the gear clamps are available in the big box stores, but as far as the preforms, we normally direct those types of inquiries to our hose and accessory distributors. Because those distributors have the knowledge and wherewithal to supply the various industries that those clamps go into.
Thanks, Mike, for that clarification.
Yep.
I think that's all the questions we have.
Well, those were excellent questions, and I hope this was beneficial to you today. And Mike and I and Courtney really enjoyed talking to you, and we hope to do this again sometime. Thank you.
Thank you very much.